Boom. What's up, y'all? Welcome to What's Cooking, the podcast with Chef Millie at Chef Millie's Cafe. We got a special podcast this week, right? We're going to be real food forward. So I want to introduce y'all to our special guest, Chef D. Chef D, what up, dog?
What's up?
All right. So listen, right? We got Cousin Vinny. We got another special guest tonight. We got Scorp the boy on the couch. We got another special guest. I don't know, the guy on the couch, like we said, we always got somebody on the couch. Of course, we got Luch, you feel me? And we got Cousin Vinny. So,
how can he get two introductions? I want another one.
Alright, so we got the hat. The hat is here too. The hat came here with Luch. He paid a cover charge too. You feel me?
That's like some Fear the Walking Dead shit right there.
Well, where did they get that from?
Alright, so you go to Rite Aid in the spring in the gardener section. They sell these hats for $7 as a gardener hat. And then you drink as much tequila as you can in a 1/2 hour. And then grab a lighter and just see what the hell you make.
Right. So Chef D, tell us what our featured dish of the night is.
Alright, so basically we got here is Chef D's roster pasta. We got grilled jerk chicken breast stuffed with grilled pineapples, roasted red peppers. It's on a bit of penne pasta. We got a creamy jerk sauce. We can make it look pretty.
Right.
It tastes better than it look though.
Look, you see they put the flour on there. The flour is edible too.
Absolutely.
The flour is edible. Got some limes on there. Make sure we stick to the tradition with the, the Caribbean tradition.
Yep.
But it's a great looking dish. I ain't gonna hold you. The chicken is nice and roasted. You feel me? You got that nice color on there, and you stuffed it with what?
Grilled pineapple and roasted red peppers.
Oh no, that's a good joint.
Yeah.
That's a good joint.
Yo,
that's a good joint.
Whenever you mix jerk and pineapple, for some reason the marriage is
it's like taking a trip to the islands real quick.
Right, but it's that sweet and spicy. That's what it is. That when you can find a perfect combination of sweet and spicy, no matter what it is, it's gonna work. So that's, like I said, that's a great dish right there.
Thank you.
You from the island?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So what was your inspiration?
Keeping it a beam, my inspiration was I was trying to come up with something fast for the kids real quick.
Right.
And the shit turned out being crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know where
Did the kids like it?
Oh, they loved it.
Oh, all right. That's what I'm
saying. Anything that I
the
did
ones.
with chicken, they request.
No, the kids the ones.
Yeah,
Pepper will straight tell you, Daddy, I don't like this.
Oh yeah. You know kids the pickiest of them all, so they definitely gonna keep it a beam.
Yeah, they don't know how to lie yet. You know what I mean? They get older and start lying and stuff. Luch, can you please turn your head back around the right way?
Thank you. I was waiting because Vinny left me on the
I ain't
hook.
gonna hold you.
You left me on the hook. I was sweating. I haven't said a word.
It was giving me anxiety back.
I'm off kilter when that happened.
Right. I didn't know what was he started putting hookah smoke in his drink. He started doing all type of goofy stuff over there. That's because his hat was the wrong way.
You turned into a whole different person.
No, listen.
That's a thing though.
That's it.
It's called cancer.
Right. You know he always brings us the real. Vinny is like our older cousin. You feel me? He comes with, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. We could be talking about all the craziest shit, and then Vinny would just be standing there, and then be like, "What you think, Vinny?" And be like, "Okay, so listen, right?" And then whatever Vinny say, and then that is a go. So Luch, what we talk? What's our food forward? Because you've been asking to be food forward. So what's our food forward topic we gonna start with?
Since the break of this whole outbreak or whatever the hell we want to call it, Heineken virus or whatever, do you take any extra precautions when handling food, or do you limit the places that you might shop at because of this? Because I know sometimes people go to Chinatown and grab, I'm not saying you, but just in general, and does that scare you at all as a chef?
Honestly, the coronavirus, I ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right, I'm
like, alright, so Scorp, you gotta dig this, right? I used to do tattoos. Change gloves. I wear my gloves when I prep food. I wear my gloves all the time. I'm always changing gloves. I run through. You see how many I ran through?
No, somebody said that on one of my lives one time. I was like, damn, you got gloves on deck. I'm talking about literally like,
So, but to answer the question, I did stop shopping at Aussie. That's an Asian market out in like Lansdale.
Right.
And they shit is crazy. Like the market is amazing. But after they talked about shit coming from China and being, possibly being infected, I just
that's why I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't even like really like pay that stuff no attention. You feel me? And until you know, until I know somebody that got it, until they say yo, you gotta take these certain type precautions. You feel me?
Black people.
You feel me? Like
I don't know no black. Did they name any black people that had it?
Yeah.
Now, how did it just skip Africa?
No, but it was in Africa. They said, but they said I think it was like a
white person in Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that don't count.
So like I said, you feel me? Anthrax ain't never hit the hood. You feel me? SARS ain't never hit the hood. They tried to say we had a couple Ebola mosquitoes at the zoo. That ain't never hit the hood. You feel me? So at the end of the day, they might say, you know, some bad things about the hood, but one great thing about the hood is we ain't never dealing with that type shit. You feel me? Like,
you know what it is? These niggas from the hood ain't traveling no fucking with it. They might be now though.
You know that the million jet set. They really all over the country with it.
My daughter about to go to
Zumunda.
No, she's going to Puerto Rico for like $90 round trip.
That's
I ain't gonna lie, when I found out about it, right, just today, I was looking up, you know, tickets to Santorini and Greece just to see what they was going for. They was $1,500 round trip. So now, when they normally like $4,500.
So now keeping it full forward and keeping it like on with a crazy whatever we talking about. I remember 9/11, right? I was working at the hotel in Center City. At the time, that was the largest hotel on the East Coast. We went from 99% occupancy to 3% occupancy the next day.
Oh, wow.
9/12. Wow. Game over. We not coming in that big ass hotel and they not blowing us up.
You can't blame them.
Like it was, but it didn't happen though. You feel me? Like it didn't happen. They took precaution. Right. You feel me? They did whatever. So it was like it's like more like how can I say, like, you know, a selective few. Yeah. You feel me? Like it's gonna be what it is. And then when it's over, you can't do shit about it anyway.
So let me ask you something. Have you seen any like decline in your numbers since this shit happened?
What you mean?
Like as far as occupancy, people coming through?
Well, hell no. When you look at the place,
so dig this, right? So earlier today, I was talking to a buddy of mine, Chef Jeff. He's executive chef at William Penn Inn, Upper Gwinnett. Right. He said that it's literally nobody coming through it. Right. And it's like a 5-star joint. Right. He said,
I feel like those people that go to those restaurants are like a part of the 1%. Like those real uppity folks. Exactly. So when they get scared, they stay in their panic rooms. They not coming out the house. They working from home. You know what I mean? Because they got those you know what I mean? Those luxuries, those advantages.
Right. So now
everybody else gotta be in the hustle.
So now what's a positive food topic you want to talk about?
A positive draw? Right. Just the rise in vegetarian, vegan, and health. What you thought I
come It's crazy because it really was like in Philadelphia. That was one thing when I said that when I get money, I want to create a healthy spot for people to eat at. Okay. Because it's nowhere really for you to get food.
Well, no, they got the boy got veganish.
I'm talking about before.
Right.
Before this was something that you can find on the West Coast.
No, but the thing about it was me being in the kitchen for so long, like being in places. Vegans wasn't screaming so loud back in the day, maybe 23 years ago, right? But what they did do was they would come into my restaurants that I worked at and say, I don't eat meat, I don't eat eggs, and I don't eat cheese, but I still want to have an entree with the other 12 people. So then we would have to then take ingredients, win, and then make them like an entree to go with somebody having a fillet. So I still then now cook vegan that way because the vegan rides it done went so goofy with all of the meats, all of the mock this and mock that. Only thing I really know is like a mock turtleneck. You feel me? Like I don't know about like mock chicken breast.
So what about that Impossible meat? What you think about that?
I think Impossible meat is not what we think it is. I don't think it's health conscious. I don't think that it's for vegans. I think it's a new. So I just think it's a new way.
The count or the cholesterol count probably gonna still be on par, but just not meat.
Still got a bunch of bullshit in it.
Do you think that we're gonna get those make those commercials where as though if you had this type of food, you would have emphysema?
Oh, of course. Oh no, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Class action suit. I want to listen. Fuck the meat with the class action suit. I want to file a class action suit against Backwood. I want everybody I'm sorry, this ain't food forward, but backwood, they out of pocket. They will sell you a backwood for $1.25 and you can't use it. Like you just gotta throw it away.
Oh, okay.
So if we want to do like a class action suit, I want everybody to gang up and suit backwood. Because you get a 5-pack and it be, you can use 2. Now let me be the devil's advocate. When we go to court, are they gonna say, you shouldn't be unwrapping them? True. Now that's the only part that I haven't tweeted that about yet. You feel me? Because I'm gonna go at them, but I'm scared they're gonna say, why are you unwrapping it?
Right, what are you doing that for?
Right, and then I'm gonna say, you're compromising our product. But yeah.
That's what I'm trying to
Right, but the class, but yeah, I definitely believe the class action suit is gonna come with the, because we haven't it hasn't been 20 years. Okay. We haven't seen what it's done to a generation.
It's either gonna be a class action suit or so much time gonna go by that they're gonna make so much money they're gonna be untouchable. Think about it like this, right? Look at dairy, right? Everybody consumes dairy. Right. That shit is one of the worst things for you. And they had a whole campaign back when I was a young boy. I'm 36. They had a campaign, milk does a body good. Dog, that shit is the worst thing for you.
Right, but
they even made pills for it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The thing about
those
it
at home who don't know, Vinny is lactose intolerant,
and he has
juvenile diabetes,
right?
And
he got the gout. Look, he got one of his shoes on. He got the gout. Vinny, like I said, he the older cousin that ponders on things and searches WebMD a lot. So
last time I searched WebMD, they told me I had cancer.
I'm just saying, Google's never wrong. I'm just saying, take
WebMD, they gonna put some shit on you. Seriously, they gonna put some shit on you. I never searched that joint again.
What you got? You got anything else? That was a good joint, that vegan one.
The vegan one?
You know, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it was a great joint though. Because I read Forbes Food. So 2019 said Forbes Food 2020 would be that.
Promise I didn't read that.
Right.
Promise I didn't read that. Now I was going to try to make a little transition into the things that you're doing with the 24 Fit, with the pre-made.
All right. Well, that's Swift Fit. So Swift Fit, I'm doing Chef Millie. I promise it's healthy delights. So that's what I'm doing. So it's more like, I'm not like a meal prep chef. You feel me? I don't want to think people think I'm doing meal prep. What I really want to do is, I really want to cook, like I said, the old way, like I did for vegans. So now what I do is I find the bottom ingredients. So it's grapeseed oil, it's wild brown rice, it's salmon, but the salmon, I normally would have to cook the salmon to a medium, so then that way the fat won't come out. But now I'm cooking the salmon past medium well, so then that way a little bit of fat will come out of the salmon, but it'll still stay moist. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing with the I promise it's healthy meals. Because it's not. I'm gonna keep it real with you. We on shush mode, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I really believe that if you just replace, if you say you eat wings for lunch, and then at night you eat an oxtail platter. So now, if you replace the same, if it's 8 ounces of wings and then 12 ounces of oxtails, if you replace that 8 ounces with salad and then that 8 ounces with fruit, it'll be a diet. You can still just go ahead and eat as much as you want, as long as you remove the fat content or the grease, because that's I've done it a couple times.
So the only thing with that though is you got to make sure that your body gets the proper amount of calories, healthy fats, and proteins.
Right.
That's the only thing. So 10 times out of 10, when you're on a diet like that, you're gonna have to have some supplements.
And that's the hardest part for me, dieting.
But that's the thing. I don't believe in supplements and none of that, because the Aborigine, it's like Aborigine people. It's like people in the Aborigines that's like don't got no teeth. They just out there hunting boars and they living to be 102 years old. I'm talking about like they ain't got no shoes, they ain't got no computers, and they still live like that today. So that's why
you know what?
That's why I don't give a fuck.
They're not eating no processed food though. That's the problem. Processed food. You know what's crazy? All right, so this right? I got 3 blue nose pit bulls. I feed them on a raw diet. The reason why though, I did some research. processed food for them is the dog food in the bag.
Right.
You gotta think about 60, 70 years ago, dogs wasn't eating dog food, they was eating meat.
Right.
So I feed them beef, eggs, you know, coconut, pineapple, shit like that. And they did a study. The dogs that was eating dog food, regular dog food out the bag, they was getting sick, they was getting all kind of ailments, so I translated that to humans. That's the same thing with humans. We eating so much processed shit, so you got people in these indigenous areas that don't have access to that shit, and they living natural. They living long.
To me, so before, you know, America is now able to come to Cuba now, because they whatever, they said that Cuba, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't having like cancers and all of that type of stuff. But they were saying, they said once America was able to start important stuff.
You know why? Because they became a self-sustainable agricultural place. Once they couldn't trade with nobody else, they just start growing pineapples in their lawn. They just start growing collard greens in their lawn. And that's why in Philadelphia, when I need like good produce, guess where I go? I go to Cousins. You go to Cousins where them Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans and all of them, they grow that. They know the land. They know the sun. You feel me? Now let me.
He just gave us a jewel though.
So now
I never looked at Cousins quite that way.
Right. So now let me keep it a bean with y'all. So I've shopped at Cousins. I've shopped at every market in Philadelphia, from ShopRite, Shopping Bang, from when I was a young boy. I shopped at a market in Beverly Hills, right? So when I walk in the market in Beverly Hills, why did I feel like the market in Beverly Hills was better than every other market that I've ever been in? So I go over to like the produce. So I'm going over, I'm looking at the produce and stuff, right? That's when I realized, when the produce coming down the conveyor belt, it's literally an A bin and a B bin.
Right.
Every piece of produce in that market did not have a blemish. I guarantee you, you go in any market, in any urban neighborhood, every pepper, every cucumber, every one has a dark mark on it. I guarantee.
That's real shit.
And it's out of pocket. When I say out of pocket,
so I'm in a grocery store every day. Every day I'm in different grocery stores, right? I literally hand pick everything. I sit in the urban stores longer than I sit at Wegmans out up 309 somewhere. Yo, this shit be crazy, man.
No, it's out of pocket,
the
bro.
Fucking herbs, cilantro, and all that be all wilted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You go out there,
but that's fresh. But what we saying is, on the positive side, we're searching for the highest quality ingredients to feed people.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing. You feel me?
Hold on, but back to the point what I was saying about Cuba. They said that once America started importing stuff to Cuba. Did
you recently do an ancestry thing that said you were like 3% Cuban?
I knew my grandma was Cuban though. I don't know how I break down.
I get it from you.
Wait. So he done already let us know he has some Caribbean in him. He's Jamaican. I heard him talk Jamaican on Instagram before. I heard him talking some. Where is it at? Where the patois at on the podcast?
I don't speak it.
Alright, but I heard him on Instagram. But now, so you just like an island boy in America.
I'm Jamaican.
So you're a rude boy.
No, I'm Jamaican. I was born in America, but I got Jamaican. My dad is Jamaican. My mom is American. Right. I was born in America, but I got Jamaican blood. So,
so what's your favorite Caribbean dish?
Beef patty.
If you don't say that, how you not gonna give him his dish, bro? How you not gonna give him his dish?
This ain't Jamaican. This like a Jamaican Italian fusion. So it's like
I'm gonna let him off the hook. I'm gonna let him off the hook.
Brown sugar on 52nd Street.
Hey, but listen, I'm making mean coconut curry oxtail, man. Yeah.
See, the thing with why I ask you, because Americans is hard for a lot of people say that they cooking curry this and curry jerk that. I believe that you can, because you're a chef. But there's a lot of people that say that they're doing it and they don't have that authentic Caribbean taste to it.
I told you one time I went to a Jamaican restaurant. They was hiring for a chef. I went and they said, no need to fill out an application. You're American. Yeah. That's what they told me. And then I said this before. Yeah. Wolfgang Puck is the #1 Asian chef.
I'm curious to see how well our live audience this evening can follow directions and pay attention.
Right.
So we've now reached the segment of the show where we're going to ask for a little bit of audience participation. The audience this evening had one job. They all had to come up with at least one question, and they couldn't tell anybody else so we can see it. Just zing to him, we'll have a question. So without further ado, I'm gonna ask the cameraman to point to our first person with the question. The lady, the lovely lady pouring the wine. What's your question for the panel that you would like to discuss with the rest of this crowd?
My question for the panel is, where do you see culinary arts going in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years?
The next 5 years.
So I'm like a student of the food, right? So the Panama Canal is actually how we're actually able to cook different foods in different regions. So we tried this fusion thing. They tried this fusion thing a couple of years ago. That didn't pan out. So I've already been on what's going to be the future. And what's going to be the future, what I know for a fact is going to be the future is taking it back to remembering what food tastes like.
Right.
And not all the goofy shit.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I appreciate food.
That's why everybody say Chef Millie food tastes different or Chef Millie food tastes like this or whatever, because I didn't get a chance to finish culinary school, so I didn't get a chance to learn the new shit. So once I didn't get a chance to learn the new shit, I had to go just learn how I could. So what I did was, I found slavery cookbooks. I'm talking about, I wanted to know why the fuck collard greens done stood the test of time. Why? Like why? Like no, like every chef try to, you feel me? Like every chef tries to make a dish that's crazy.
Yeah.
That done put me on that. All right, y'all trying this new stuff and y'all doing this new stuff, but whatever the ancestors did, that we keep liking and that we keep tasting and that we keep saying we want this and we want that, and then me traveling and figuring out that the city people like to explore. That's why we cool with the hustle and bustle, but the country people, whether you black or you white, you still like your fried chicken a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So it didn't matter about black and white. It came down to like food. So studying soul food, because I was a chef at Warm Daddy's. So studying soul food, I found out that
he looked at me like I own Warm Daddy's. I worked at Warm Daddy's. I don't own Warm Daddy's. Or Relish.
But I know you knew that fact though. I know you knew that fact about me. So working at Warm Daddy's, I had to study soul food, right? So I wanted to do the best soul food. So that study then led me to a sauce called etouffee.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I just discovered that one.
Right? So that's a staple in Louisiana. Right? The etouffee. But guess where I had already heard about the etouffee at? I had already been heard about it.
I was smiling hard as shit because they had a chef moment right there. I was like, damn, he's dead. I said,
damn, heard about it.
Moment. Let me just say
I had heard about it working in French restaurants, high-end French restaurants. It was the etouffee. So I said, wait, what? What's going on here? So the number 2 sauce in the French world is the number 1 sauce in Louisiana. Wait, what? Wait up. So when we braise the short ribs or we braise the collard greens to infuse the flavor, French, what? Let's get it then. So then now, once that 1 + 1 = 2 to me, I then started cooking all of the soul food at Warm Daddy's with a French technique and ain't tell nobody. So then they wondered why the food was like just so grand and so good. But at the end of the day, it was because the slaves in America had took on French technique with American ingredients, and that's all it was.
So look, right, piggybacking off of that, so you know who's responsible for like basically cuisine, like French cuisine period, like the art of it, the whole nine, Leonardo da Vinci. So going back even further, talking about taking the bullshit out, going back to the grassroots, I thought this man was just an artist.
No.
This dude was like one of the first people, he had a restaurant. Leonardo da Vinci had a restaurant.
And he was a surgeon.
This dude, he was the father of plating food, making it look pretty, and his restaurant flopped because back then all they were doing was serving slop on plates. Yeah. So my man, so years later, everybody took his techniques and started. I mean,
so
and that's how he evolved.
Moving before that.
Oh,
the
shit.
first person, the first person to then ever say, I'm gonna put bread with soup and meat, they were gonna hang him.
Oh, wow.
Because it was only single stores. It was a bakery. It was a butcher. It was the first person that said the word restaurant. They was going to hang him, and they took him to court. Period, point blank. There's no way you're going to do all of those things in one place. You're going to kill all of our businesses.
So even before, listen,
it gets serious.
Even before that, though, 3 monkeys, 1 banana.
Wait, what? So now let's incorporate Scorp the Boy. So Scorp the Boy did these 2 tattoos on my head, right? The tattoos on my head say King of Chefs, Chef of Kings. Right? It's not me. That's a nickname of Augustus Escoffier, who was the first chef who wrote the cookbook. So when people read or see or think I'm trying to brag or boast with King of Chefs or Chef, King of Chefs was a little, I think they say he was 4'11", white from France. And then Chef of Kings is,
and look at you,
the people that I
hundreds of years later, a 6'11" black guy,
right?
Fucking Philly. That's heavy.
But Chef of Kings are the. I'm talking about. I got a tattoo in my head for you and you and you and you and y'all, all of y'all. It's not a tattoo. I'm the Chef of Kings. Right. You feel me? But that nickname was made in the 1800s for somebody else. And then I put that joint on my head, and I said, "This is standard that I'm gonna live by."
So I think we got time for one more audience participation joint. So I'm gonna point to a random person in the room. You can focus it on them at that point, and they'll ask their question to the panel. So I think I'll go with Tiffany Tadish. Tadish.
Oh my goodness!
How did
I know he was talking about me though?
More Philadelphia to be able to pick that Tadish up.
All right, I'm just saying, what's the best way to make your business strong?
The best way to make your business strong? I think the best way to make your business strong is keep screaming. Keep yelling. Don't let nobody shake your hand. What's up? Yeah, you know I'm open tonight, right? Hey, you already know what it is, right? I'm talking about, I grew up with people, and when they see me, they be like, Millie, what up, though? You already know we open tonight. We taking a podcast. What up, blah, blah. Keep screaming. What they called it? They had called it flooding the gram. Me and my man Ronnie Ryan from Southwest Philadelphia, we flooded the gram. If somebody, this was like 6-7 years ago. Watch this, Lutz. I'm gonna put you on something we did 6-7 years ago. Triple play playoffs, right? 6-7 years ago. If you was a chef in Philadelphia and you posted a picture that actually looked great, guess what? Somebody from my clique would send a notice to Chef Millie. Chef Millie, they just posted something. And guess what we would do? We would take 12 people and post 20 pics of my food. Ain't nobody else cooking food tonight in Philadelphia but Chef Millie. We don't care. So guess what? And guess what the people that posted the good pictures say? I don't be on the gram like that. I don't be trying to be on the gram like that. Oh, cool. That's cool too. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, Al Gore said that the internet would bring everybody together. So when I post a picture, I'm really like texting, what is it now? 30,000 people? I'm texting 30,000 people. Right. I ain't hitting text all. You feel me? I ain't going through, look at this.
That's so annoying.
You feel me?
If I was in that group text.
30,000? Oh, you feel me? So at the end of the day, I think if you a startup company, if nobody knows who you are, I think you should go to a crowd of people and stop everybody. I tell people this. Stop every last person that walks past and say, yo, this is who I am, this is what I do. I guarantee you, bro, at the end of that day,
how inspired you.
Can I say something?
How inspired you.
Hey,
That's
I got on my boutique. I sell women and men's clothes. I got some business cards if y'all need them. Okay.
I guarantee you, somebody needs something to go to Miami in the next couple months. So they get some of that boutique immediately. Some see-through, right? Just make sure it's see-through.
I'm gonna jump on that question, right? So dig this. I met Chef Millie like, what, 7 months ago? Maybe like 7, 8 months ago? Yeah. I met him at the restaurant depot and I stopped him. I knew he was in the mix. I was in the mix too. I asked him, yo, what kind of game can you give me, man, for what I'm doing? He was like, yo, you see this bag right here? I'm like, what's up? He pull out flyers. I still do old school groundwork. And I'm like, oh, all right, okay. I literally took that. This was 7 months ago. I started my own company. I've been booking celebrities. I booked high profile clientele. I just booked a joint this Saturday, right? It's a joint called Earn Your Leisure. I just booked them this Saturday on short notice. They ain't taste my food enough and they going off a word of mouth. And I'm like, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, people reach out to you and I remain consistent. Like he said, keep posting the food. Just keep posting food. And that's what I do. So that exactly what he said is what you should do. Keep screaming, man. Let everybody know. You gotta convince people sometimes that ain't even interested in your services to be interested in your service. Right. You know what I mean? Keep screaming.
Keep screaming. Wow.
Yeah.
No,
one more.
she had a two-part.
She had a question.
No. All right. Somebody else got a question?
I can ask a question.
Go ahead.
Alright, so let me just say for one, yes, y'all killing it. So one, let me, this is
yo, can you say killing it again?
This the first question. This like a 3-part question. So, first question is, Chef Millie and Chef Zia, do y'all think that y'all are hottest chefs in the city right now? Y'all think y'all the only ones doing?
Benny, me and you could fall way back on this shit.
Well, in my opinion, I'm just answering for y'all, yes, because that's my cousin, and yes.
All right. So what I'm gonna say on that one, I ain't never been the type to be in competition with nobody. I always do me. Like you seen it, cuz from building the Chevys to doing the tattoo, all of that kind of stuff. I never looked at anybody as competition. I just go do what I do. I'm an artist at heart. You know what I'm saying? I paint, sculpt, draw, the whole nine. So I'm just in my bag. Right. So when I look at a plate, it's a canvas. I'm not worried about how somebody else is doing theirs or any of that type stuff. So I would never even put myself on that pedestal. I would let the food speak for me and let other people speak for me. I would never say I'm the hottest or nothing like that. To me, that's corny.
Well, I love how y'all doing a different infusion thing and how y'all incorporating like clean eating, like you said, tradition without the poor eating habits, like the poor eating. You know how our ancestors grew up eating like a scavenger from whoever. So y'all incorporating like ancestry and y'all doing it originally, but y'all incorporating more healthy eating habits. And 2 was a question from my mom, because you said what you feed your dogs. So she trying to figure out how she can go about feeding her animals, like not what she eat, but how can they eat healthier along with her instead of eating, because from what we know, dog food is like GMO and
exactly.
So yeah.
So I don't know.
Chef D's dog food coming soon.
Refrigerated dog.
Listen, I'm gonna put it right in the milk containers too.
Oh, listen, I'm with you. Yo, if this was your tape, nigga, I'm in. I need 10% for $200.
I'll break you up. I'm gonna pay you how you weigh.
That's a little list together for our dogs.
All right, so what kind of dogs?
You gotta try to get in on the money. No.
She's a Shih Tzu Bichon.
Shih Tzu.
And they're telling me that she's got to be on a special diet, so I spend an arm and a leg.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you what I do for my dogs. Now they different dogs. They pit bulls. They blue nose pit bulls, and they they pretty big. So what I do for them in the morning time, I give them a cup of beef, like straight beef. I mix it with an egg, with the shell and everything, because that's like equivalent to like a healthy bone for them. I give them a tablespoon of organic unrefined coconut oil, because that's good for their digestive system, their joints, their hair, skin, the whole nine. Because pit bulls are short-haired dogs. They got problems with dandruff, shit like that. So I'll do that, and I'll put a tablespoon of diced pineapple in there. Pineapple for dogs.
So let me tell you something. One of my tricks in the chef world, the Shih Tzu that she has, I always search the origin.
Yeah.
I search the origin. Yeah. When I'm doing the dish, I go search the origin of the vegetables, search the origin of the beef, search the origin of where it came from, like the first time. So all of it, like how you saying the healthy eating. So with that, search the origin of how they used to eat before too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I believe Shih Tzus come from like Asia somewhere.
Right. Because, and that's why I say, because people eat the food that's in the land. You see what I'm saying?
When they did, they come from Asia, but what they fed those dogs, they were royalty, so they fed them good. They fed them what the royals ate.
Right.
So my thing is, I eat good. I do my own food.
I think that needs a clap. I think I eat good in this class.
I'm in charge of certain places, but it's a lot of the unhealthy cholesterol stuff that I take out, but I still cook my grandmother's meals, my mother's meals. So I need to know, is it okay, since I feel like I'm eating good, is it okay to give my little Shih Tzu when I'm eating?
It all depends. Everything that's good for us isn't good for dogs. You know what I mean? Like I found out that grapes for pit bull puppies could be like lethal.
Yeah.
So what's the third part?
Grapes.
That was all 3 questions.
All right, cool.
What does pineapple do for dogs?
So pineapple is good for their joints. It helps fight cancers. Oh, wow. It is good for their digestive system. You just can't give them too much. So my dogs, with the size they are, I give them a tablespoon. Anything more than that, they're gonna be shitting everywhere. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do the same thing for us, though, do it?
I'm not sure, but I love pineapple, so in my mind it does.
Right.
Yo, you know how to charm the ladies too. You know how to charm the ladies. I'm sitting in here trying to think of something. He thought pineapple. Yeah.
So listen. So before we go,
it's getting spicy. It's getting spicy in here.
Before we go, I want to point out a couple people before we go. I want to point out Doe over there in the corner. You feel me? He just put out a new video. That joint fire. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You feel me?
How can we find it, Doe?
Yeah. What's the gram and all of that?
Northside Doe. All one word on the gram. Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, anything you can think of, Northside Doe.
Right, Doe. I want to point out Gemini mixes. You feel me? She always pulling up. She got the vicious type margaritas. I ain't gonna hold you. The pomegranate margarita different. I ain't gonna hold you. That's my favorite. Right. So I want to point out her. You feel me? She always pulling up. She trapping. She really trapping hard. I want to point out. He gonna put his head down, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. Boy, right here, I appreciate him. He really showed me that I'm doing the right thing. You feel me? That my vision is right. You feel me? Somebody like him, that he done been here. I'm talking about he been here 3 times in like 6 days. You feel me? So at the end of the day, and when he came in, he wanted to shoot a music video. So I want you to, tell him, I really want you to tell him your experience at Chef Miller's Cafe. You feel me? Right.
So my whole experience is like, it's like family. It's like home. To come here, get to eat good food, smoke some good weed when I bring it.
Right.
It's just like it's just just home. It's a homely atmosphere. I mean, like it's just good food. Right. It's the same shit. Like it's like I haven't been disappointed. Like price is good. Ain't hitting you over the head. You know what I mean?
What menu you was looking at? I joke. That was unintentional.
Right. Man, it's black people. Like, I just want to support black people. Black owned. We doing our own shit. And that's it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep coming. Pause.
Thank you.
Yo, it's 1-1. It's 1-1.
He the GOAT. Well, look, so I also want to point out Scorp the boy, you feel me? Scorp the boy, he one of them people that when you keep saying artist, when I met Scorp the boy, like artist, like Scorp the boy embodies the word artist to me. Like I don't care what it was that if you had to express yourself, Scorp the boy, like I'm talking about through rap, through paintings, through tattoos. I'm talking about he did a tattoo one time, bro. It felt like he was counting the layers of my skin. Like I'm gonna put that under the 4th layer. But the 4th layer, must have been some weed you had, bro. I'm talking about if you know, you feel me? If you know layer, if you know, like I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like his tattoos. So then when if you listen to the old rap, it was like the boy. You feel me? Like the old. But then now, you feel me? He'd drop a jewel on us every once in a while, but then he'd drop a painting on us. You see what I'm saying?
Scorp, I think you should tell him about your Cover Your Baby Father name special. 2 baby fathers. He
the goat with that. Let us know. Special. Right. So Scorp the boy, let us know everything that you really got going on. I'm talking about take your time, you feel me? I know you got a lot going on, you feel me? I'm talking about everything, you feel me? So
a lot of specials.
So this Scorp the boy time, you feel me?
I mean, I'm a native of West Philly. I'm a West Philly native, born all my life. I started off doing music here in Philly. I got real popular doing the music. But I started doing tattoos in Miami. I had traveled to pick up other styles of other artists. I got down there with the Latino crowd, you know, the Cubans and all that through that immigration through Miami situation down there. There's a lot of artists down there in the Wynwood section. Down there you could go see like all the paintings and all the art like of the world. Like everybody go to Wynwood for the art. So I went down there and meshed with them and you know, collaborated with other artists and got picked up by Black Ink Crew. And I've been with them for like 2 years. But being with them, we bringing Black Ink Philly to Philly within like the next 3 weeks. I manage it, so like, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all gotta pop out. I'm talking about y'all. I'm talking about what I'm saying. Show out. I'm talking about
30th and Master.
Right.
That's big business territory. That's big business territory.
But Brad is our partner. Right. What's the Instagram? What they gotta follow? Because on that day, we gotta have people turned away. I'm talking about we gotta be outside like acting like Park H, you feel me? Like out Vegas when they couldn't get a pool party.
Follow at Black Ink Philly. You can follow me personally at Scorp the Boy, and y'all can follow Caesar Black Ink. You know, that's the guy that made that.
Now take off your head and reveal your Puma from season 1.
Yo, wait, how you spell your brand?
SCORP, like a scorpion, like a Scorpio. B.A. Boy.
Alright. Yeah, so I don't have no tattoos at all. But I follow Scorp. I recorded for Scorp, like when I was engineering at the time. But what I always respected about him was always
got so many talents. Yeah. But don't watch TV.
No, but when I follow him on the gram, and the one thing that I respected is when I look at his portraits, you look at that picture that person gave him to do it, and then you look at his portrait. It's identical.
On point, right?
Yeah, so
I'm the one up like right now currently that they call to do the portraits. I'm the portrait artist. So that's like one of the highest titles you can have, especially as a black man.
Let me ask you a question.
They go for everybody else when they go to technical shit like that. But yeah, we changing the game. And shout out to my brother Lemire. He on like in Compton.
So look, when you do your portraits,
he on Compton.
Hey, Scorp, when you do your portraits, do you like take the picture, the actual picture, and draw it out a few times, like sketch it before you go in with the tat, or you just go right in?
Sometimes I do like that to get the muscle movement.
Right.
Just what strokes I'm gonna do on there, but then you know, once we on stencil, you locked in. Yeah. Like I go to I only listen to R&B when I tattoo.
Right.
He talking about the rap makes me bounce like that. We talking about smooth jazz shit on Osleys or something like that.
I think we like at least 4 tats in, no stencil, no nothing, freehand
like that.
I'm talking about
relationship gotta be there.
Right, exactly. Right, I'm talking about busy.
A lot of people don't take tattoos serious, but tattoos is minor surgery.
Right.
It's not, and it's permanent. You feel me? So it's like we get tattoos at our leisure whenever we want to, you know, just alright, y'all having a tattoo party. You gotta be selective of who you do.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was doing tattoos, I refused.
Y'all did. But now,
I usually refuse to do tattoos like kids. I couldn't. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it because I want to put out the bullshit.
I did a lot of it, but I had a cheat code when I was doing it, and it still wasn't good. It still wasn't good enough,
right? Especially for yourself, right? Yeah,
in your security. But my ex-wife used to be my assistant.
Okay.
So between tattoos.
Now, what season did you change the wife? Was it season?
So look, before we go, is there anybody else that want to say anything, add anything? It's up to y'all.
I just want to let you know I've been riding with you since you've been on Hell's Kitchen.
You
every time I get finished, I'll be like, whoa. Since you was coming in for All-Stars, I thought you was going to win.
Right.
Ever since then, I've been riding. I mean, I love you.
You single?
Ramsey.
Single, ma'am? I wasn't sure.
Cut it.
That may not make the tape, but I damn sure hope it does.
Listen, right? So this was Cooking, the Chef Millie podcast at Chef Millie's Cafe. We appreciate everybody coming out. All the YouTube stuff, like, hit the thumb button, all that. Whatever y'all do on there, we appreciate y'all watching. That's the Bull Luke right here. You feel me? Chef, we appreciate you coming out.
This was fun, I must say.
You already know.
Appreciate y'all.
Cousin, you already know. Scorp the boy, thank y'all for coming out. Everybody, we appreciate y'all for coming out. For
you
sure,
made this happen.
Yeah, for sure. So you already know. Tune in next week. We have a new dish. We have new topics, and we out.
Peace and love, brothers.